Okay. Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to the podcast. For today's guest, I've got Yevgeniy, and he has a background in cybersecurity, and he's also a keynote speaker. He's an author, and he recently wrote a book on the art of soft skills and technical sales, where he advocates for the transformational power of soft skills and emphasizing communication, empathy, adaptability, collaboration. And I'm really happy to have him on the show. So, Yevgeniy, welcome.
Thank you very much for inviting. Very happy to be here today and hope I can share some ideas, some practical tips for people that can help them day by day.
Yeah. So introduce yourself, and I'm really excited to dive into the conversation.
And good, so I'm Evgeniy. I've been around cybersecurity for quite a long time. Having said this, as part of being in cybersecurity, my work involved a lot of consulting. And when you're doing consulting, you speak with many different people. And when you engage in something very technical as cybersecurity, you quickly learn that whatever you think you have in your head is not the same what other people know. So you need to learn how to translate very complex ideas to very simple or business language as well. And I learned quite a lot how to do it. I also learned that apparently as a second-time immigrant, when your English is not perfect or we have a variety of fears, you need to work quite a lot on yourself on how to overcome these fears, to be able to speak, to be able to communicate, to be able to present as well. And this is part of the inspiration to write a book as well.
Yeah, really fascinating. Yeah, I did. Was interesting as just the challenge when you're going from a technical field and you're in talking to marketers and sales. It's a different language. So, in first question I have for you is this: how do you this? What soft skills are really important when you're going as a consultant or as a coach or speaker? And you have a lot of technical knowledge, but you have to translate and communicate that to clients that don't have this expertise and have them create an instant connection and rapport with them?
This is an interesting question because you cannot definitely paint one paint and say, this is what you need to have. It's really all different. I think one important one is the curiosity, is this curiosity to learn new skills and curiosity to adapt. And adaptation is probably the soft skill as well is very important when you're consulting and a coach. And then we can open the envelope or open the belt, and there's so many different things. You need to learn how to read the room. You need to know to pay attention to what people are doing. If you need to change the way you communicate. Simple example, I usually speak very fast. So in many cases, I need to slow down. But there are some people that speak fast as well. Then it's easier for me to speak the same level because it's actually native for me. But if you are a person that speaks slower and you're speaking to someone that you speak fast, it's going to be a challenge for you because if you want to adapt to them, you have to try to speak fast. There's many different things that when you want to pay attention to the other person communication and the body cues as well. And it sometimes becomes harder if we do it over Zoom, Teams, or Google Meets because we don't see the entire body, same as you and me right now. We don't really see everything. We may be distracted. We maybe don't have our camera on. We may be looking to a different screen as well. So it's not the same as a physical meeting because when we have a physical meeting, we have the entire attention. Coming back to the original question, curiosity is one, adaptability is two. And I think even very important, and it's not just for consulting, for everyone, and it's a huge part of soft skills, is vulnerability. For example, if I didn't understand something, don't pretend you don't understand. Feel free to ask, can you please explain to me? I don't understand. Or can you use different words? So I'm opening myself up. I'm showing that I didn't really understand because I want to understand. And it's hard because people don't want to feel that they're quote unquote down or not intelligent or whatever it is we're creating in our mind, then somebody else will think about us.
Yeah, really fascinating. And soft skills in different fields is hard enough. And, also with coming from different cultures is also, so it's like it's also another challenge. The other challenge we have is a lot of people are remote work from home and a lot of people are on Zoom. So how do you communicate these soft skills in a digital, fast-paced environment?
There is definitely need to adjust. First of all, with remote work, it's mean good part, we have a different backgrounds. So we can play with our background to connect people better. I definitely suggest people to be on video if they can. And if you cannot be on video, you tell the person, guys, sorry, girls, I cannot be on video today from a variety of reasons. I am sick, I'm not home. But if you do work day by day, I think it's quite fundamental to be on video. Depending on where you're located, depending on what you can do. You can have a real background or you have a virtual background. And you have a real environment. You can put books that you love. You can put guitar, you can play guitar, let people connect. You can put Lego paintings, whatever you think is represent you to let people connect with you. I call it reverseful. In the same time, I can ask the other people what they have a background to start the conversation easier. If you do a virtual background, there's a bit more techniques to it because we want to have maybe green screen, going to be light better, or maybe some lighting on the virtual background. It will look a little better as well. And then you can do different things in the virtual background as well to represent you. The important part in the virtual background, in the meetings over Zoom or Google's is to be engaged, to make sure we have people connection to them. Because in many cases, people may look another screen or may miss something and going to open another tab on their browser, maybe on Facebook, LinkedIn, or TikTok. So we need a constant interaction with people. And it's not easy because you may have 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 people. There's many people over there. So depending on what you're doing, if you're doing a team meeting or you're lecturing something, you need to find engagement a way to connect to people.
Yeah, it's definitely challenging in remote virtual environments. So moving on, the next question I have for you is virtual presence and what is virtual presence and what are tips and strategies for optimizing video calls to maintain professionalism and connection even in a remote work environment?
This one is quite deep. And when I was writing my book, it wasn't part of my agenda at the beginning. But then I realized a couple of things. Before COVID, for example, we used to travel if we're going to customers. We will not be on virtual meetings. Or even if we're in an office, we will travel from our desk and we'll go to a meeting in a meeting room. So you may have 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 meetings a day, probably not more than this. And you usually have time to decompress between the meetings. Maybe TMs or somebody very specific will have more. What does it mean? It means right now, you may jump from a call to call, from a Zoom to Zoom every half an hour or 45 minutes or an hour. So you have zero time to decompress. You don't really have time to, excuse my French, to go to a washroom. So after a job that you probably want to have a very good headset with the mute button, because you need to go and greet yourself, you can do it. This is the more important part. So what we're having right now is you can spend 8, 10 hours in meetings. No time to decompress, no break between them, barely have time to eat. No time to even stop talking. We didn't talk so much 5 years ago. So what happened if I did 2 slim meetings and number 5, number 4 is a bad meeting? Something didn't align. Would I be present on meeting number 6? Or I'm going to have a headache or I'm going to be depressed? So I will not be able to be present. If I'm not present on a meeting, then I cannot accomplish whatever the work I'm doing, selling, managing, programming, whatever it is. So being present almost take everything else on a different level. We talk a lot about burnout. If I got to the point I'm burning out and I don't understand this, I'm not present. And it's quite important. And to be able to do this, we need to manage our time better. It's basic quality versus quantity. You maybe need to put breaks. You put busy in your calendar. You do go for a walk. This idea of exercise snacks. Yeah, 5 minutes, go do push-ups, go do sit-ups, go do something for 2 minutes between the meetings to refresh yourself, walk around, have a glass of water, have some fruits, have some vegetables. So similar to car, we're not waiting until we have the engine light. We are constantly going and doing maintenance to our car because we know it's important. So same as the body. In many cases, we forget about ourselves until we have a red light. We have a huge headache or God forbid something worse. And then we think about what else we need to do. Do we need to vitamin C, more vegetables, being more outside and stuff like that. In some cases, if you're having a call with your work, with somebody from work, maybe you can do the call while walking. You don't have to be on Zoom. You say, hey, you know what? We're just talking. We're talking about something. I can do a walk around my house and still talk to you. There's different ways how we can create exercise, nutrition, sleep to help the engine that runs our body be much better. And guess what? By this time, by doing that, we're going to be much more productive.
Interesting. You have an interesting question here. And what do you mean by hooks and reverse hooks? And what are the best ways to combine these in a conversation?
So we touch base a bit about them. So hooks is I'm seeing in your background, for example, it's a virtual call that you play guitar. So you have a guitar. So I can ask, hey, what's up with the guitar? And why you have a guitar behind you? It's open up to talk about your hobbies, or it could be a picture of your kids or your cat or your yacht. Example, I was on a call with not yet a friend during this time. It was future business partner I was hoping to. When we jump on the call, I saw he had a sailing boat behind him. Picture. So I asked, hey, what's up with the sailing boat? We switched the conversation and he told me how he liked racing and this is his way to meditate. And this is the way he disconnects. We didn't talk about business for the entire call. The entire half an hour, we spoke about sailing. And I just came back from sailing. It was a sailing vacation in Croatia. We were very aligned. When we ended the conversation, you may ask, so what was the call? If we did talk about business, he invited me to come sailing with him week after. I came sailing and we spoke 2 hours about business. Very productive. And we've been working for the last year together right now. So this is just because I was able to show something that was dear to him. And I don't think he put it there because he wanted people to reach out. He put it there because it's dear to him. And in many cases, this could be a Lego set, a painting, many different cases. But you can use the same. You can put something behind you that will represent you to let people to connect. Sometimes I jump on a call and have a big green screen behind me. And be like, hey, what's up with the green screen? And this provides me the ability and the availability to talk about my media work and the corporate thing I'm doing as well.
Interesting. Yeah, very interesting work. And so finally, just talk about your book and overcoming the fear of public speaking and how can people reach you and follow you and check out your work.
So let's touch base on the fear factor because it's very interesting. When I present to people, I started to ask, did you ever had a training about fear? On one question, did you ever had training how to overcome fear?
In like formal training or what do you mean?
Yeah, and in school, home, did anybody teach you what to do if you're afraid?
No formal teaching. I had to learn how to get over that, whatever fears by facing it.
I think the only place where we teach people how to overcome fear is if you were in a theater. So usually it's a word like fear stage. Maybe if you're a professional fighter and you need to go to a ring, or maybe in the military. Everyone else is not something that we teach kids or adults as well. We tell you have a number, you have a program, project, you have this, you have that, go do it. Or you have a very important meeting tomorrow. There are going to be a lot of important people. Make sure you don't screw it up. Make sure you accomplish whatever needs to be done. But we don't explain what to do with the fear. And if you think about that, is fear bad or good? I think fear is good. We have this idea of the fight and flight. If we see kitty cat on the street, it's okay, we can probably come and maybe touch it, maybe. If you see a lion on the street, you probably want to run away. If nothing in your mind keeps saying that you should be afraid, something's wrong if you see the lion. So the same idea, let's say you're running on a bicycle, you're going downhill and you've never been there. It's a very steep hill. I hope something will click in your mind and say, slow down, go check what you're doing. In the same time, when you're afraid, there's probably excitement going on because something we never did, something that's new to us. So if we're going and let's talk about public speaking, very common here. If we're going and doing a public speaking engagement or speech or whatever it is, and we are afraid, it means one, it's new for us. Two, we're probably excited. Now, we talk a lot in life in general, if we understand something, it's a part of the solution to a problem. If we understand we have a problem, now we can treat this problem. So if you understand that every time you're going to go and do a speaking engagement, you're going to be scared, now you can do something about it. Can you translate this fear to excitement by any chance? Can you overcome this in a good way? For example, some people like to play music and it gives them a zone. In many cases, when you're afraid, you start breathing faster. Can you learn to slow down your breathing? Because I cannot just tell you, stop being afraid. It's not working. It doesn't work like that. But if I tell you, let's try to slow down your breathing. By slowing down your breathing, it will slow down your heart rate. By slowing down your heart rate, it will probably remove the anxiety as well. There is a couple of practices there. There is a yogi breathing called 1, 2, 2. You inhale for 4, you exhale for 8. Or you inhale for 2, exhale for 4. You can try to do it for 4 minutes, for example. Another one called box breathing. Done a lot of Navy SEALs. I didn't invent this stuff. I've been around for a very long time. And the idea here is you inhale, let's say for 5, hold for 5, exhale for 5, hold for 5. So now basically your breath cycle will be 20 seconds, basically 3 breaths per minute, while a normal one is 10 to 12 per minute. So trust me, if you just put a timer on your laptop or on your mobile device for 3 minutes and just continue this box breathing, you will just see how automatically you slowing down, you become more calm. So if you know you're going to be doing something scary soon, just spend 3 minutes. But I used to go to a workshop. You sit down in the workshop, put a timer and do box breathing before I present, just to be able to slow down or calm down myself. And there's other different techniques that help you to navigate this fear factor.
And how can people find you and reach out to you and check out your work in your book?
Thank you. So the easiest way is probably on LinkedIn, Yevgeniy Kharam, Evgeniy, and last name Kharam, Kharam, M like Mary. There's also a website, softskills.tech and softskills.com. So there's softskills.tech.ca and softskills.com, where you can find a lot about the book as well.
Excellent. And for the audience, thanks so much for coming on, and be sure to follow Evgeniy's resources. Those will all be in the show notes, and thanks again.
Thank you very much for having me on the podcast.